Hello there, fans of my YouTube channel. It's Gwen here from Living Your Best Life Coaching. And it is our magical May monthly connection. So thank you for joining me. I'm hoping that one or two of you will be able to join me live. I know that a lot of you do like watching these on replay afterwards. So I've got lots of decks here. And we are going to start, as we usually do, on our monthly connection. We are going to start with a roomie, and we're going to dive into the heart of the divine, an invitation into the heart of the divine. That's what it says. So how are you doing if you're watching? Oh, hi there. Now, I don't know who Stumpy257 is, but it might be somebody that I know. So if it is somebody that I know, oh, it's Polly. Thank you for that. Lovely to see you. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a little drink of water, Polly. So it's nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. That's the thing, when everybody has different handles on YouTube and different channels. So looks like someone else is joining us as well, which might be Marie, who's another regular. I know she said she was going to join as well. So you probably have been waiting for me to come live. So I'm just going to get some of the boxes open. Haven't changed my username since I was 16. All right, okay. You've had a YouTube username for a while there, haven't you? Well, I don't know how many years I've been using YouTube. We've been using it for a little while because you've used it with me before. So if you're able to comment and say hello, do say hello. Excuse me, I can see there's a couple of you watching. As I say, I'm getting the cards ready because I've got lots of decks here. We don't know, we might not use them all, but we like to use quite a mixture for the monthly connection. Apologise, me coming into the camera there, looming towards you there. So yeah, how's your Sunday been? How's your week been? As I say, we're a week into May now, we're just over a week into May. And we had the 5th of May portal at the beginning of this week. And also, I believe, energetically, that the 10th and the 11th of May, sort of in a planetary aspect, if you like, are supposed to be very auspicious dates as well. I did say something about that earlier today. So let's see if we've got, I probably will open some more of these as we go through this. So as I say, if you are able to comment and say hello, I would love you to say hello and let me know in the comments. But I can see that Polly's there, so it's always good to have one person live with me to chat to. So got quite a few decks here, so we'll see what we're guided to once we get into the reading. And it is a reading for the collective. Hi Marie, lovely to see you, honey. Thank you for joining us. So this is nice. We've got a couple of our I want to say colleagues here. A couple of you guys are doing my Elevate program, so that's really nice to have you here live with me as well. So Polly's saying has been relaxing. Mum isn't well, but she's on the mend. Oh, that's good to know that she's on the mend. And yeah, I feel like I was going to say something else there. Sorry. So yeah, really nice. And yeah, let's see. Let's dive into the roomie card first of all. The roomie guidance, because that always sets the tone for the love stream. Oh, thank you. Marie's saying she loves my top. Well, I went to see The Devil Wears Prada 2 this afternoon, so I thought it would be a little bit stylish, not as stylish as them with all their designer gear on, but it was fabulous. Well, there's quite a few people watching me live now. There's 5 of you watching live, so hello, thank you. I think this is the most we've ever had on a live stream, love stream, while we're being live. I know we get a lot of views afterwards. It's lovely to have all of you here live with me tonight. This is exciting. So yeah, it's a May monthly connection. They're a reading for the collective. So whether you're here live or whether you catch us later on, you'll get something from this reading. And whether you catch it much later, and this video finds you at any time. Oh, we've got 6 now. Hello, hello, hello. Do say hello if you're able to comment, people. Then just know that, it lasts for the whole month anyway. And also that you will always get something from this. The way that divine magic works and divine timing works, you'll always receive something from the message, from the experience whenever this finds you. That's the beauty of it. That's the magic of it. So as I say, I'm still getting cards here to see what ones we're going to dive into. So yeah, so I went to see, as I say, Devil Wears Prada this afternoon. So I thought I would dress up for the occasion rather than my usual Sunday attire. So that was good. I went with my family, my sister-in-law, my niece, and my sister-in-law's sister. So really nice to do that. So I hope you guys have all had lovely family weekends or a nice week with friends and family, and maybe been doing exciting things. So let's dive into what May has to offer. And as I say, we're going to dive into the heart of the divine with Rumi first of all. So let us see what we get given. What's the kind of overall theme? And then with these ones, we always end up doing there's always a sacred honouring ritual that goes with these cards as well. So I'll use that to start us off and to connect us, to help us dive into a connection with our divine team, our unseen team, our higher self and our unseen team. If you're unfamiliar with that phrase, well, I interchangeably use unseen team and soul family. So Marie's saying, I had a nice afternoon with my mum yesterday and today has been batch cooking. Oh, I love that, a bit of batch cooking. I sometimes do a bit of batch cooking on a Sunday. I haven't had the time today to do that, but I do like to do that on a Sunday. And then, like I say, you're prepared for the week ahead. And this time next week, I will be in sunny Spain. So that's exciting. So we've got our card here. And I was looking about because these cards have numbers on them as well. So I am going to use, my trusty angel numbers book as well to add to the message as well. So the card that we've got, and I shall hold that up for you to see. And for those of you that are in my Soul Family Facebook group, I'll post the photographs of the cards afterwards, or I'll post them on my socials anyway afterwards, so that you can see, because some of you like to see the pictures and see the visuals there. So this card is number 16 and it says from nothing to everything. So let's see what that has to say to us to start us off for Magical May, as I'm calling it. I've named it Magical May. And thanks to those of you as well who, talking about the socials, who have been commenting on my post today of like what's Magical May bringing you. And I've not had a chance to look at those yet, for the last few years, so I will look at those. So if you don't already follow me on my other social platforms, you can find me at Living Your Best Life Coaching with Gwen Dixon on Facebook. That's my business page. And I also have a private Facebook group called the Living Your Best Life Soul Family. So the ladies that are here that I can see their comments are long-standing members of the Soul Family. So yeah, if you want to follow me there as well as on here, I would love to have you there if you don't already follow me there and came from there to here. So let's go into the reading. So, from nothing to everything. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. And that's obviously by Rumi, the Sufi poet and mystic. So it says, have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel. Something more beautiful and true. And I love that because we're always tapping into our most beautiful inner beauty, our most, oh, hi, Annie, lovely to see you too, our most true self. We are part of the furniture, Paul is saying, in a good way. So it's lovely to have you all here together. So yet here you are at the pruning stage, like a gardener for the soul. What a lovely term that is. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? And I love to plant seeds, and I'm sure we'll be planting a lot of seeds tonight. So I'm loving the sort of terminology and the terms that we're using, the phrases that we're using here. So it says, fear not. your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of culling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a greater story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming up. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this great writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from that cosmic poet in every moment are so rich, they inspire the creation of art and music. And you know that we love to talk about creating an inner genius flow and, being that, give me a yes for that, being that creator and creative person yourself. So one such story is especially created for you. Yes, you. With a starring role and all the best supporting cast. Well, that's very apt. And I'm saying I've just been to see this movie with an amazing cast. So it's kind of give me a nudge, a nod or a nudge to go, well, of course it's perfect, Do you not trust us? So anyway, I'm just distracting myself here. You shall gasp in wonder, awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It is a great romance, a great adventure, with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Would you wish to hear it? Become attentive now. Put your own tales aside, as dramatic as they may seem right now, and prepare to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of your unfolding divine destiny. Quite exciting, eh? It's like we want to read on. And, it's how we get to flip the script, because we always talk about, my membership group is in Flip the Script Collective, and we'll talk about flipping out in our script. That's the ethos that we have around here in the Soul family and in my business. So let's have a look at a little bit of this. And then we'll do the sacred honouring ritual, and then we'll go into the rest of the reading. The cards for the collective for the magical month of May. So it says there are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion, and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then, perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through these rigours? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Excuse me. Again and again, it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrist the moment we try to take hold of something firmly, someone, anything that brings us to certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigours at an advanced stage on the path. We meet this challenge when our soul is ready for it. And you know that I'm a great believer in that. And you guys all know this who are live with me now. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given our life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note it, but not recognise the great divine source asking this of us. And so we do not give such an inclination the accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead, and that's it. We have our inner script, don't we, that we want to flip. Oh, our mind may fancy itself to be a great wrangler of the word, impressed with its own judgments and declarations. Yet in the light of comparison with the divine tale for our soul, all our fancies shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dissipating in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more, or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. We may hit obstacle after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling, that life is such a pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we are forgotten and unheard. Yet we could equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door, is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. And I told you it was magical May, so we've got something magical happening. We participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us, as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace, real, rich, dripping with goodness and sustenance. Grace. This is a sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we will be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. This oracle comes with guidance for you. You are being asked to let go to receive, to become empty, to be filled. This may mean letting go of an attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. And I know that's, I'm going to say that's true for one of you and perhaps for me as well. It may be of no longer holding on to a fantasy of your dream job, but of being guided into your most soulful and successful vocation. It may mean letting go of wishes for your body or health to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is a divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, it is because reality is knocking at our door more often than not with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living it. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of your process. Embrace it without expectation, with trust in your heart that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. And so that's beautiful. So we're going to do the sacred honoring ritual that's guided here next. And what I want to say just before we go into that is, we're talking about flip the script. We get to change our internal script. We get to change that story. And also we get to release control. That's the theme here of and give me a yes for that. When we release control, when we keep the feeling of what we want, but we release the form. So we release that control of well, I want to have this thing and it has to happen in this way. And we get sort of blinkered and we get tunnel vision. And then sometimes things are happening around us that actually are for our greatest good. They are, it's a manifestation of what we've said we desire, but it happens in a different way than what we expected. So sometimes we're not even seeing that it's happening, or we're sort of ignoring it, or, we're missing something entirely. When actually it's this is what I've been asking for. It's showing up in a different form. It's showing up in a slightly different guise. Like it says, a different job or a different person, or, whatever the case may be. So it's being open to that. So keeping the feeling of what we want, keeping that feeling, and the excitement and the love and all that sort of thing, and then releasing the form in which it can come. So let us see, and we will see what the 16 has to add to this as well. So let me do that, and then we'll do the sacred honoring ritual, because this card is number 16, and it's from nothing to everything. So we're going from thinking that we've got nothing to realizing that we've got everything. So an abundant mindset, and in April we're focusing on abundance, and then so in May we're focusing on the magic, and I help you to trust and believe in your own inner magic, and to have the courage to act on that belief. So let's see what we're going to do, and then we'll go into the sacred honoring, and then we'll go into the rest of the reading. So the number 16, this is Kyle Gray's Angel Numbers book. For again, those of you not familiar with this is one of my most used tools along with the cards. So number 16 says, you are being invited to upgrade your choices and move toward experiences that support your joy and purpose. Let go and move forward. Pardon me. So let us see. So We're being invited to place our hands in prayer and bow your head. So I'll trust that you guys are all doing that behind the camera, as it were. Say aloud, I choose to trust in the great genius unfolding in my life. I give thanks for the blessings of grace now flowing into my heart. So you can see I've got my hand in my heart because I've got the book in the other hand. I have no need to know. I trust in the perfection of my being unfolding with innate intelligence and wisdom. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, holds me in his protection, and I accept my destiny with a peaceful and trusting heart. Please help me to surrender the stories, attachments, fantasies, and fears that have held me back from living my heart's desires fully. I now choose unconditional trust in the loving genius of life to lead me into my fulfilled destiny. So be it. And we're just going to add to that for a second. So now placing both hands on your heart and breathing in that unconditional love, breathing in that perpetual love from source, from joy, from God, from the universe, whatever you want to call the oneness that is the creator. And feeling that bright spotlight, if you will, that shines from above and also comes up from the earth. And we're sitting in that shaft of one light, of rapturous light, brighter than moon and sunlight. And as you breathe in, taking a deep breath with me now. And hold. And release. And as you take your next breath, imagine you can feel the light and the love flowing from the center of the earth, from the crystals at the center of the earth, all the way. And as you're breathing up that light, up through your feet, up through your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, and flowing up through the center of your being, your inner being. And that's flowing up through your root at the base, through your power vortex, your strength, and flowing up through your truth vortex at your sacral center, your energy center, where we connect with the truth and where we connect with our creations. Because remember, we're connecting with our inner genius, we're connecting with the genius flow. So we're flowing this light through our inner being, all the way through all of our energy vortexes. So we've gone through power and strength up to the truth. And then above your belly button, we're connecting with your soul energy here, with your hope vortex. And that bright yellow, warm light of sunshine that glows so bright here. This is also the intersection where your soul energy combines with your human, your unconscious gateway. And so feel that ignite, and you might feel like a different energy switching on now. And feel yourself filled with warmth and light and love as everything combines here. And then placing your hands back on your heart center, your love vortex. And feeling that energetic container opening up wide as we choose to receive these messages now, as we flow in that perpetual love that we are both the source, the creator, and the recipient of. We give and receive in equal measure. And opening up the front and the back of your heart so that you can give and receive in equal measure even further. And again, you might feel, see, hear, sense, know something here, that feel that energetic container expanding. And for some of you, that will feel familiar. And for some of you, that might feel a little strange, a little new, a little woo-woo. And it's all good. It's all love, all energy. And then moving your hands, placing your hands lightly at your throat vortex, your trust vortex. And trusting that you are sensing what you're sensing, knowing what you're knowing, feeling what you're feeling. And you might see or hear like colours, lights, sounds, especially as we go through this. You may notice that even more as the magic flows, as that genius flow has been ignited. And if you've ignited all 5 vortexes, you've lit up faith. Faith in you, faith in your higher self and your unseen team, your soul family, with joy and faith in what you can do together, and that togetherness energy, that reunited energy where you are all combined. And feel the sense of awe and wonder as you tap into that and you recall what this feels like to be together in this togetherness energy. And bringing your hands again into prayer position at the heart. And thanking yourself for flowing in the love stream, for helping to co-create the love stream. And letting it flow through you as we continue to go through the rest of the connection. So thank you for that. Let me know if you felt anything particular. Those of you that are watching live, and if you're watching on replay, then I trust that you'll feel something too, and you can let us know on replay too. So earlier today, I pulled a couple of tarot cards for myself, so we're going to look at these as well. And I was reminded of this because the Rumi oracle that we chose, the From Nothing to Everything, was number 16. And we also got number 16, the Tower. And these are the Light Seers tarot. So I'm not I've used oracle cards for years, and I've self-taught myself to, as we do with self-taught, self-taught user and sharer of messages through oracle cards. And I've only been playing with the tarot cards for a few months for myself. And I love this deck. So the card that I got, which is a major arcana card dealing with major issues, is the Tower. So as that was 16, then I'm guided to use that one as well, and we're getting a yes for that. So what I will do is I'll read the from the guidebook for this as well. And Polly is saying lots of pink, green, and purple, lots of flowers. I love that because it sort of talks about gardening, doesn't it? That kind of soul gardening. And the pink and the green is your love vortex, your heart center. So I love that you got all of that. Thank you. Yeah, beautiful. So the Tower in light seer position, which is what we're looking at. We're looking at the light. Unexpected change, chaos, the rug pulled from beneath your feet, beliefs challenged, and we're talking about flipping the script, and that was what this card was talking about, was changing our story as well, wasn't it? So beliefs challenged, new awareness and perspectives, destruction, being unsure of who you are. And it says, whoa, buckle up and expect the unexpected. Sometimes we resist change to the point that the universe shifts in a destructive and chaotic way that fundamentally changes how we see our reality. There is a strange beauty in this deconstruction, as all of the elements for a better life will be found amongst the rubble. Use this moment to rebuild something foundational, something extraordinary. Trust that you will be held by the universe, and you'll become stronger and much more resilient as a result. Tower moments are powerful, moving, shifting, expanding. The Tower energy in your life marks a period when you get to reevaluate, redirect, reestablish, and realign. It's magic in the disguise of unpredictability. The brightest of lights will pierce through the pandemonium of change you are experiencing, and you will find your beautiful truth and blazing potential in the darkness of the Tower. In chaos, I move towards the brightest light. And that's pretty exciting, isn't it? So, like, if you look at the card there, we've got like a kind of bolt of lightning hitting the tower, and the animals, the natural kingdom, if you like, are sort of, oh my goodness, what's happening? So it is that chaos and that excitement of like a thunderstorm and being thunderstruck kind of thing. So if you feel that things are a bit chaotic just now, just know it's for a good reason. And as it said, it's magic in the disguise of unpredictability. So it's magical May. So that's pretty magical already. And the other two cards that came out earlier on today, and we're saying, yes, we're using these as well. So we've got two pages. So again, two court cards. And for those of you that know about tarot, you might know more about them than me. But the first one we've got is the Page of Wands. So she's a pretty magical looking lady, and wands are all about creativity and passions and following that. So let's see what that has to add to it. So she's about explosive creativity and infectious enthusiasm, ideas aplenty, creative beginnings, a newly found inspiration, honing a new skill or passion, curiosity and trying new things, gifting yourself permission to dream. I love that one. Great energy for creative ideation and brainstorming, a youthful spark. So this says, this page is a free spirit who carries infectious enthusiasm with her. Delight in her youthful, raw and exuberant creative energy and pay attention to the new ideas that are bubbling to the surface at this time. And so some of you might have ideas bubbling to the surface as we're doing this reading now. Or getting a yes for that, or you might have had some kind of seeds planted in that activation that we did, like Polly was talking about the pink and the green and the purple and lots of flowers. So she's kind of planting some seeds in her garden, as I'm sure some of the rest of you are doing as well. So let's see, where did we get to? Pay attention to the new ideas that are bubbling to the surface at this time. You will find flashes of inspiration here. And again, it's like flashes of inspiration, like the lightning and the tower card as well. So I'm loving that, the thread that's running through that. Inspiration that comes bundled with massive potential. If you are feeling the creator angst of not having any solid plans to bring these insights to life, let go of your need to formalize your plans right now. Giving your ideas the space they need to develop before sharing them prematurely will allow their wings to fully form. And I love that as well, because there's lots of butterflies on this card as well, which are, evidence of transformation. And the butterfly's got to take time through the chrysalis stage, etc., for its wings to fully form. So again, I'm loving that through line here. And I keep saying, I'll divert off to say things, and then I'm like, where was I? So apologies. Stick with me, bear with me. So, we were talking about wings fully forming, weren't we? No, I can't see it. Da, 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 da. Yeah, allow the wings to fully form. Their potency is limitless. Let them breathe. Spend any extra time in the pursuit of the imagination. And if you are feeling any lack of ambition or drive, or feeling devoid of the inspiration that this card illuminates, know that you will fuel this fire when you allow yourself to dream. So even if you're thinking just now, I don't know how to do that, or I didn't get anything, and all of these things, transformation and creativity. Thanks, Polly. Exactly. So even though you might sort of think, I've not got anything yet, the affirmation here is, as the dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite this flame. And I love that, because some of my original decks that I got were Gabby Bernstein decks, and actually I don't use it that much now, the Miracles Now deck. So maybe we need to dig that one out sometime soon. But I've got a couple of t-shirts and things that are with Gabby, and like Universe Has Your Back and these decks as well. So again, I haven't really used many of hers for a wee while, but so we'll have to dig those out soon. But anyway, what I was going to say about that is I have a top that is one of the sayings, I think from it's The Universe Has Your Back, and it says, I am the dreamer of my own dream, or so as this is talking about, as the dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite this flame. So I love that. And then the other card that we got out of this deck as well is the Page of Swords. So she's got a big book there, it might even be a spell book. And she's got lots of light bulbs in her hand there. So she's got lots of ideas as well. So there's lots of creativity flowing through all of these guides, all of these archetypes that we're calling in tonight, and we're starting off with. So let's see what the Page of Swords has to add to the reading. And swords are all about your thoughts and your imagination and all that sort of thing as well. So, but sometimes obviously we get into overthinking and we get carried away with that. So let's see what the Page of Swords has to say. So she is about restless energy, curiosity, a thirst for information, learning new things, an apprentice or student, intellectual pursuits, ideas and reasoning, a messenger. And when I said there, an apprentice or student, what I got given or what I got reminded of was the Sorcerer's Apprentice. If you the old Disney film, they give me a yes for that as well, with Mickey Mouse, when he's like the Sorcerer's Apprentice and he does a spell, he's doing some work and he does a spell to make extra mops and buckets, and then the mops and buckets multiply and it becomes a little bit spooky and a bit overwhelming. So but anyway, you can get to be the Sorcerer's Apprentice and be in charge of the magic, let's say. So it says, curious and intelligent, this page has a thirst for knowledge that seems unquenchable. She's an incredibly quick-witted communicator, and she's often compelled to share her many ideas or messages with others. At times, she's so talkative that it becomes too much for others to process, and her intense energy can come across as unsettled or even nervous. She suggests using an air of inventiveness in your current pursuit. Your goals will be met by walking a path of honest discovery, especially where others are concerned. Keep the light bulbs of curiosity turned on and cultivate a beginner's mindset as you strive to learn new things. Avoid falling into gossip or even arrogance with your communications. In shadow, this page can be all talk and no action. And I have been accused of that before in the past, and I say accused, but it's like I resemble that remark kind of thing. I was like, yeah, fair enough. I often do. I love to talk. I love to express things, express ideas and so on. And that's why I'm here talking to you guys. But sometimes it can be all, the talk's all up here and there's not always the things to the proof of it, or the ideas don't always get implemented, let's just say. So I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Give me a big yes for that. So it says, remember that everyone who crosses your path has something specific to teach you. And again, you guys know that I'm very much in alignment with that message. And that mirrors are all around. And life is always mirroring to us what we believe about ourselves. So people who are collaborative souls, and give me a yes for that, or who we think are maybe doing us down or doing us a disservice, they're actually doing us a service because they're mirroring back to us how we feel about ourselves. So we get to thank them for that, and we get to recognize that. And it says, remain open to unexpected lessons, share truthfully, and delight in every interaction. And every action does offer some surprise and delight when we can see it in that way, and we can transform our thoughts in that way. And the affirmation here says, I learn and expand my consciousness and open up new opportunities for my life. So I'm loving all of these, the direction that we're going in so far. So let's put these aside and we shall move on. Now, talking a lot about art and creativity and genius, so why don't we use an Art of Manifestation Oracle card, because we like the guidance that we get from these as well, and when we use these quite regularly. So let me take a little drink of water. Ooh. Checking the time, we're quite far on already, so I shall crack on with the rest of the reading. So let's see what the Art of Manifestation has to add to the magic, to the message, to the guidance, to the story. All feels quite storytelling tonight, isn't it? I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm Jack and Ori or something like that. Nope, Daisy, nearly. Nope, there we go. All right, we've got two for the price of one. And we've got numbers on these as well. And again, you couldn't make this up. We've got the 16 again. So I'll read the 16 angel number because that's the third card that we've had tonight. That's the message 16, the number 16. So clearly we need to pay attention to what the 16 has to offer, because we started off with their 16. Then we got the tower, which I had pulled earlier, which was 16. And then now we've got a 16 again. So we've got three 16. So it's like tonight's broadcast is brought to you, sponsored by the number 16, basically. At least Vivian isn't throwing them about. Well, not yet. Don't speak too soon, because they'll be on the floor in a second. Because if she doesn't do it, Marie's dad will do it. So there's a very high probability that there won't be cards on the floor tonight, because, as I say, either of your soul family members usually does that. So 16 in this deck is forgiveness of others. And Marie's laughing at that. So forgiveness does not mean that something bad has happened to us, that happened to us was okay. Forgiveness means that we choose to move beyond the experience and to release any ongoing need for retribution. And remember, back to this card we were talking about, we had to do a lot of releasing. That was right at the beginning of the definition, wasn't it? The guidance. In doing so, we no longer need to keep the memory of what happened alive within us. This choice reinstates our entitlement to be in charge of our own lives. And that's it, because sometimes we hold on to unforgiveness. We hold on to, not hate, hate's too strong a word, but you know what I mean? Like, we hold on to those old stories and grudges, I guess is what we're saying. And they think, oh, that person did me wrong, and and we kind of keep telling the same story. And we keep repeating it to ourselves. But it's like that thing, the kind of old saying of, like, it's like, drinking poison and wanting the other person to be harmed, but we're only harming ourselves. And it's human nature that we want to kind of keep repeating the story and keep telling ourselves, oh, they done me wrong. That, there's a lot of country songs written about these sort of thing, a lot of songs and creativity and books and all these things written about, revenge and vengeance and all these things. But it's really always ourselves that we're hurting, because half the time, if we're doing it in our mind and we're maybe dreaming about the person, or we're dreaming up what we would do to them or what we'd say to them, you know what it's like. We have these conversations in our mind sometimes, don't we? And it's like, well, if I get a chance to say to them, and I'll just tell them blah blah blah, and then we never do any of it, kind of thing. So that's the kind of all talk and no action bit, isn't it? And it's like we're just replaying it and hurting ourselves every time, when we do that. So it's hard sometimes to stop ourselves. I'm not going to say I've never done it, because I have done it. But when you can forgive them, it's like you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for them. You can forgive them without them having to have any part to play in it. You don't have to tell them that you've forgiven them. You just do it for yourself. And that's the releasing process as well. When you can go through that and go, well, thanks for what you taught me. Because again, we got that earlier on, didn't we? That everyone who crosses our path has something to teach us. So we can go, right, thanks for the lesson. I'm ready to move on now. Because when we keep ourselves stuck in it, we're just keeping replaying the same old, We're keeping ourselves stuck in that loop, and we don't want to be. So back to the 16. You are being invited to upgrade your choices and move toward experiences that support your joy and purpose. Let go and move forward. So clearly that is the message of tonight, with to let go and move forward, because they keep giving us the 16. So that was that one. And then, and funnily enough, the other card that came up with that is Bless Your Past. So, of course, very much on the same theme, isn't it? Of thanking those collaborative souls for the lessons that they've given us. And it says, a useful tool to help us let go of any emotional residue that is still clinging to us from a past experience is to bless your past. Whenever the memory of an event or person comes to mind, pause and say to yourself, I bless every aspect of my past, and I celebrate the contribution that it gave me in becoming the person that I am today. Well, that's perfect to go with that, isn't it? It's the perfect duo. And let's see what number 5 has to add to that. And 5 says, abundance is a state of mind. When you feel rich spiritually, your physical life will reflect it. And basically, that's saying when you forgive others and you forgive yourself, and when you bless your past, then you're opening up. We're talking about opening those doorways, and rather than the closed ones, you open up for those doorways for you to step through it. You open up the possibilities, you open up to the abundance. So I love the two of those, and the combined message there. So we are going to go, staying on the kind of theme of light and angels, etc. I've got a couple of decks here that we're going to use. So we're going to use the Keepers of the Light deck. And let me take a little drink of water because it's thirsty work, this. So yeah, let me know with those two cards or the theme so far. What is it saying to you, those of you that are here live and those that you're still watching? What does that, how does that resonate with you? And can you relate to it? Can you recognize yourself, like your own story, the script that you need to flip within that so far? And let's see who wants to come along and help us. Oops. And again, we said that cards are on the floor. So we've got 3. Definitely on track with what I'm working on just now, having lots of inspiration. Love that. And recognise that those things from the past, as you guys know, our challenges are our treasure, and it's all part of our hero's journey. So those difficult things that we've gone through in the past, they weren't just, sent to try or whatever. They were there because you needed to learn from those. They were milestones on your soul contract, on your soul journey, on your soul's path, as one of the cards has talked about. And so that is the source of inspiration. It is the source of love. It is the source of your brilliance and your uniqueness. The unique gifts that you have to offer the world have come from that. So you get to bless that as well. That's why you want to bless the past as well. Taking that card. So Marie's saying, definitely resonating with me. Holding on to resentment from Christmas. Yeah, you mentioned that last week, I think, didn't you? There has been a shift. I've been stubborn and holding my ground rather than forgiving and moving on. And that's it, because I say the other person doesn't need to know that you've forgiven them. They don't even know that you're holding on to that. They don't know any of this, that you're holding on to. Well, they probably do, because of the fact that you do come across each other now and again, and there's an atmosphere or what have you. But so just imagine when you can shift that and have the courage, to bless the past and forgive, how much better will you feel? And then that'll change the atmosphere, and it'll just change things. It doesn't mean to say you have to be friends, or it doesn't mean to say you're condoning their behaviour, but you're just letting you're stopping drinking the poison for yourself, kind of thing, sort of thing. So you're letting go. So we've got 3 keepers of the light to help us with this. So first we've got Paul the Venetian, and he's about experiencing grace. And we got grace earlier on, didn't we? Which I think grace came up in that one. I'm sure it's come up a couple of times now. So experiencing grace. Share your gift with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. And so again, that's that message of the inspiration, of the love, of the creativity, of the ideas, from these ladies. So loving the continued. And we know this is how the magic works, but it still sometimes blows my mind how everything sort of flows together and knits together. So that's Paul the Venetian. And then we've got Mary Magdalene, and it says, Teacher awakens. And she says, you have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. And again, that's perfect, isn't it? Because we've got these creations, we've got our gifts. And, those of you that are watching live, the ones that I can see in the comments, I know that all of you are extremely gifted, are uniquely gifted. And I do believe this for everyone, that every single one of us has something that only we in the world can uniquely do. We have got the prowess that only we possess. And that comes from those difficulties. It comes from those hard times. It comes from us overcoming those obstacles and those, using those milestones on our soul contract, if you like, as stepping stones to greatness, as stepping stones to our brilliance. And that's what Mary Magdalene is offering you. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call and don't let anything stop you. So I loved that message from her. And then the third one we've got is Rada, Soul Flame. And she says, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. And how perfect is that, given what you've just said, Marie? That, and again, it doesn't mean to say that that relationship is going to be re-established by you doing that forgiveness. You re-establish your relationship with inner harmony and with yourself, and that's what means you can attract the right relationship that you want when you forgive and you thank and bless the past for the last one. Because you've got to let that go in order to make space for the new to come in. Because if that's still taking up space in your heart and it's taking up, difficult space, how can anybody else break through that? Do you know what I mean? So it's causing a blockage basically. So you're opening up to that harmony and healing, and that's what opens up to what you want. And that's what we were talking about. Is like the card at the beginning was saying, what you want is there. We just need to be able to see it, and we need to see what's knocking on the door, if you like, thing. So with that, we're going to continue with the Kyle Gray cards, and we're moving to the Angel Oracle Guide and see what the angels have to add to the whoops. And again, that one's thrown itself on the floor. Right. That's what we get for mentioning the cards not being on the floor. And I said they probably will be in a minute. And of course, you couldn't make this up. We've got the Forgiveness and Understanding card. So just in case you didn't get that message. So I am going to have a look at the guidebook and just see what it's got to add to it, because clearly forgiveness and understanding is very much needed. For us to open to the magic, we need to connect with the forgiveness and understanding, don't we? So let us see. Spoke too soon, exactly. Oh, here we are. So it says, as soon as you see the word forgiveness, you'll know where this energy is needed in your life. And we've already talked about that. Forgiveness is a correction to human vision, an opportunity to see through the eyes of the soul, and ultimately it gives us an idea of what it's like to see through the eyes of our angels. Whatever the situation that feels heavy on your heart right now, when this card appears, your angel guide is inviting you to release it. You aren't being asked to accept bad behavior or let it go, but to realize that the only person who is truly being affected by your unforgiving thoughts and feelings is you. Well, that was what we said. You don't deserve to have past events get in the way of present happiness. And that can only happen if you make space by releasing painful experiences from your heart. And again, that's what I just said. We're letting that painful stuff take up space. We're not making space for the good stuff to come in and fill that space. So that's what we need to do. So call in your angels and ask them to help you step into the energy of forgiveness. Even if you feel you don't know how to forgive, the willingness to do it will be enough. I feel connected to Mary Magdalene energy. It's lovely, isn't it? So we'll see, where else we connect with that, or something that maybe connects with her. So thank you, Annie. And the extended message here, because again, it feels like it's all an extended message of this forgiveness and understanding piece, isn't it? And blessing in the past, as we said. Understanding why others have committed certain acts or you yourself have made bad decisions isn't always easy. It's important to know that you are always doing the best you can with the information and tools you have. And the more you learn in life, the greater your capacity to make choices from a space of love. And again, we're talking about, Mary Magdalene, as you're saying, as that teacher awakens, as, following that inner call and having something important to share. And when we can release the stuff that's been taken up, living rent free in our head, I want to say, then that's when we can tap into that aspect of it. So I've now distracted myself again, but it's for a good reason. So the more you learn in life, the greater your capacity to make choices from a space of love. When this card shows up for you, it's because angels see you as worthy of fulfilling and exciting experiences. When you're dancing with the energy of forgiveness, you're on the verge of a miracle. I love that. This isn't a time to be weighed down by the past, but a time to see beyond it. So that's a beautiful message from your angels as well. So again, we'll put that one aside for the photographs later. So the next deck we've got here, and I'm going to not go on too much longer, but we've just got a couple more that I want to use. And so we've got the Gateway of Light activation deck. So let's see. Oh, I've got all these. Yeah. So I wanted to look at the box there because there's a little invocation on the bottom of the box. So this one says, I call forth from within the light of Source. Thank you for standing at the forefront of my heart and mind. Thank you for activating the ancient wisdom of my soul. I welcome in the support of heaven, earth, the stars, light beings, and beyond, and so it is. And so with this one, we've got the Holy Grail. And that's really what we're talking about. We talk about searching for the Holy Grail, isn't it? And give me this. And it's this beautiful chalice, this beautiful overflowing cup, this abundant cup that's filled with love, that's filled with magic, that's filled with grace. And that's what we get to have when we let go of these, these difficult feelings that we've been talking about, that have been taking up space. So let's see what it says. So it says, inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek. So instead of going out looking for the Holy Grail, we get to realise that the Holy Grail is within. So I'm going to quickly look at this in the book as well, just to see if it's got anything to kind of add about the Holy Grail. Once I can find it. Bear with. Here we are. The Holy Grail has been a mystery for thousands of years. Many believe that it was the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper, or that was used to collect his blood at the crucifixion, while others believe that it was a person, possibly Mary Magdalene. And there you are. I said we would get Mary Magdalene again, didn't I? I said we'd get a connection to her when you said that, Annie. So I never knew that the Holy Grail had any connection to Mary Magdalene. So there you are, talking about Teacher Awakens, and she's teaching me as well, and you're teaching me. So thank you for saying that about Mary Magdalene, because you've just added to this reading. So it's also been described as a stone, a dish, and a cauldron. The energy of this card is strongly related to a physical space, which is the Chalice Well in Glastonbury, southwest England. And have you not been there, Annie? I feel like you've been to Glastonbury. So maybe that's why you've connected with Mary Magdalene as well. So you can tell us about that in a second. A sacred garden where many go to connect with the great goddess and discover the mysteries within. As a gateway, the Holy Grail is the cup of our heart, which we can allow to be filled by source light so that we are overflowing with divine love. Well, that's what we're saying. We get to be overflowing with the abundance, etc. And when we remove the darkness from our heart, we get to fill that overflowing space with the inner discoveries, with the beauty. So the energy that we call into the Holy Grail is the feminine energy of Source, the Shekinah, the fierce yet graceful light. There's the grace again that we got from your other man before. Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. There's a lot of grace tonight. The law of grace is certainly coming into being, into the reading. That inspires us to dance with the sacred rhythm of life. This gateway therefore encourages us to stop searching outside ourselves for truth and to go within to realise that we've had everything we've been searching for the whole time. Excuse me. It's like inviting the divine in, but knowing that it was already there before we asked. Annie says, yes, been to the Chalice Well, such a special place. If any of you get to go, it's beautiful and energising. So you never know. Perhaps we'll have a road trip one day. So there's actually a little connection practice here. So let's do that. So it says, place your hands on your heart space and say this simple prayer. Dear Source Light, thank you for filling the cup of my heart so I am overflowing with your love. How beautiful is that? And the message says, you have been on a great quest, seeking, searching, discovering. But the further you've gone, the more your heart has called you back. You may still be looking for treasure, but you are now discovering that all roads lead back to you. The great source of creation holds up a shiny mirror in front of you to see your reflection. You are the answer. You are the divine. You are created. You are creating. The gateway of your divinity has opened, and the vessel of your being is flowing with infinite light. You have been searching for God, and God is within. So go within. That is the key. Sorry, this is the key to heaven. Your cup is overflowing. Your gifts are being unlocked. Let the world share your treasure. And how beautiful is that? Because that's what we've been talking about as well. So about our treasure and all of that. So I'm going to use, and again, I don't use these very often. So I'm going to use a Crystal Spirits Oracle. And you guys probably know more about crystals than me. So again, we're probably going to have a wee look at the book just to see what the crystals are about. And it might be that those of you that have a lot of crystals or that work with crystals can use this crystal this month and add that to your practices. So let's see. And then we're going to wrap up shortly. So, oops, a daisy. Right, we've got a few here, but what I am going to do is pull two of them because, Polly, you mentioned pink and green earlier on, and we've got fluorite, which is green, and we've got rose quartz, which is the pink. And I'm smiling because, Annie, I know that rose quartz is special to you. So let's quickly see. So they have got numbers as well. So actually, I think what we're going to do is we'll look at the angel numbers. So the fluorite is the green, and it's 24. And I'll quickly look at the book. I'm not going to read it all, but we'll just get the essence of it. What a beautiful card, and got Treasure Island card on Friday with you, Turtle and Treasure Chest. Yeah, exactly. So continuing that message, isn't it? So 24, because we're getting both of these are the colours of the heart chakra, the love vortex, isn't it? The heart, the energetic container that we tapped into earlier on. So it says, angels are shining a light of harmony on you and your personal relationships. Any conflicts are now being resolved. Well, again, how perfect is that for what we've been saying earlier on with the whole, message of the reading so far. And then the rose quartz is 48. So that says, the angels of purpose are with you now, helping you understand and follow the truth and purpose that will light you up. There's a lot about truth and purpose, isn't it? And Annie, the card that we got in the collective this morning, or you pulled for us this morning in the collective, was Haniel and his integrity. And it was a lot about, following your truth and connecting with your truth in that card as well, didn't it? That it said that was what she was here to do. So we'll finish with something special actually on that note. So let's quickly look at those, and then we are going to finish up and wrap up. Once I can find these, I'll say quickly, yes, it did. Thank you. So you've definitely been guiding this since this morning then. So fluorite is about, which was the 24, that was the green one. So fluorite is about clarity and purity, clear focus, and end to cluttered thinking. When the way forth is clear, a sense of purpose and enthusiasm arises and the fog of distractions lifts. Fluorite spirit appears when confusion is about to disperse, giving way to pure wisdom and free, unambiguous intentions. It reminds you that you can achieve clarity by slowing down and consciously choosing to release any confusion or distraction. So we're getting back to the releasing that we had at the beginning. Like a still pool reflecting the beauty of the sky, a calm state of mind can produce the clarity you seek, allowing your intentions to be pure. Obstacles to co-creating can slip away as you work with fluorite spirit to magnify all that is pure, good, and loving within you. Focus on that and it will be amplified. And Annie said, ha ha, chuckle, chuckle. And there's a relationship message here as well. So I'm going to read that because that's what we've been getting all along, really, isn't it? So it says, in fairy tales, true love at its purest is often the magic that will break the old spell, keeping someone asleep, frozen, or acting out of alignment with who they are deep down. True love from the conscious universe always works like a magic potion, allowing you to let go of false stories. Well, there's the flip the script message again. About who you are and what you can create and experience. It brings you out of the debilitating belief that you are not worthy of all you desire. You have been frozen too long. There's another Disney film there. And as you experience the purity of love pouring into you from the conscious universe, you will more easily leave behind the patterns that keep you from the relationships you are entitled to enjoy. Well, again, this is definitely a continued message tonight, isn't it? You deserve to have all that you long for and more. So work with fluorite to purify your attention. It is here to help you experience your connection to the pure love of the conscious universe that will strengthen you. And there's a little crystal spirit meditation there. So it says, if you're looking for laser sharp focus, fluorite is your best friend. This is a fantastic stone to employ when studying, while learning something new, or when you just need to retain important information. This is an excellent stone for children in school, but should not be kept in their bedrooms as it may disrupt sleep. And we don't want to have disrupted sleep because we get enough disrupted sleep. So, but that's good to know. And then the rose quartz is 48. So let's have a quick look at that as well. You can find it here. And obviously that's going to be about love as well, isn't it? As we know that. So essential meaning, self-love, self-worth, being enough, and worthiness. And of course, for us to have all these things that we want, that's what we've got to believe in first and foremost. We've got to choose love for us first, as we know. So when rose quartz spirit appears, you are called to pay attention to one of the most wonderful creations the conscious universe has ever brought into being, you. Have you forgotten how beautiful you are? You have so many strengths and a unique set of qualities that will be like magical superpowers as you walk the healing path. Rose quartz spirits has come to remind you of your soul's worth. Many, many people will benefit simply from knowing you and being in your presence, drinking in the love that radiates from your heart. Trust that the conscious universe is always there to fill you up with the power of love. Again, there's been many songs written about with that title. Whenever you need it, and remind you that you are worthy of all that you seek. For you are an exquisite expression of divinity. I love that, an exquisite expression of divinity. What a powerful and one-of-a-kind source of healing love you are. And I always talk about you being one of a kind and unique with your gifts and your prowess that we talked about earlier on. So the relationship message here says we are conditioned to forget how amazing we are. When rose quartz shows up, it's because now is a time for being aware of how quickly we forget our beauty and worth. Have you been falling into a comparison trap and convincing yourself that you aren't good enough and that you have to work hard to deserve what you want for yourself? And that's it. Sometimes we feel like we've got to work so hard, and it's like, no, you work less, you do less work, and you're already deserving. You don't need to work to become deserving or to earn something. No, no, no. Let go of that scarcity mentality. Comparing yourself to someone else should be done only when you want to identify those matching inner strengths of yours that you wish to amplify, so you may experience of even more love and prosperity. And I love that, because amplify is a power word, a command word for us. So we want to amplify those things. Today is a good day to connect with what you see and love in others and feel the presence of those attributes within yourself. Remind yourself of the times when you have been strong, smart, playful, confident, whatever the quality it is within you. Know that you have all you need, and you will see your relationship reflecting that you are worthy of what you desire. And again, that's perfect in alignment with what we've been talking about. And so the little kind of meditation piece for this one is rose quartz is often identified with romantic love. But this beautiful stone, in fact, encourages us to experience love in all its myriad forms, from a mother's tender care of her child to random acts of service or kindness towards a stranger. Rose quartz encompasses all expressions of love, including self-love. Meditation with this stone brings the knowing that we are a part of this loving frequency, that we are perfect and always have been. I love that. And I'm thinking, Annie, maybe you could, I know you like to create little meditations and you love to work with rose quartz, so maybe you could create one for us in the collective. So just a suggestion there. I'm going to pull a Connecting the Truth of You card, because we've been connecting with the truth and we've been getting that message all night. And then I'm going to finish with a little angel prayer, because I've got this book here as well. So I'm getting a yes to do that. So let's see what truth or truths we get. In fact, we've got two that are flipped over. So the first one is the truth. The truth is that I can receive from my higher self. And I know you ladies that are watching live all do blah, blah, blah. And Annie's saying, so connected with rose quartz. Oh, yes, maybe I could. So there you are. There's a challenge should you choose to accept it. The truth is I can receive from my higher self. So I know that all of you who are watching live and all of you really who are watching on replay, whenever you watch this, we can all receive from our higher selves. But again, sometimes we don't recognize, because we can receive in so many different ways. Sometimes we think, oh, well, I don't hear voices, or I don't get this, or I don't see visions, or, whatever we think we should do. If we don't get that, we think we're not receiving, but we're always receiving from our higher self and from our unseen team all the time. We just need to recognize and hone in and attune to what our way of receiving is. So that's the gift that's offered to you, from the connection that we did at the beginning. Recognize how you received there. What's your natural affinity? What's your natural ways of receiving? Like Polly had got the colours. So if you receive colours, if you receive light, if you receive sounds, if you receive words, if you receive messages, if you receive through music, those are your natural ways of doing it. So those thoughts that you think are random, or the songs that you think are random, or whatever it is, notice that is your natural way of receiving, and turn up the dial. Excuse me, I've got energy shifting. Hiccuped again. And then the other one that we got is the truth is I am ready for change. So again, perhaps the way that you receive from your higher self is going to be changing, especially for those of you that are here live with me tonight. So let's see. So the archangel that we got this morning in our membership group, our Flip the Script collective, which some of you might be interested in joining. So if you are and you'd like some information about that, then drop me a comment and put collective or Flip the Script, whichever's easiest for you to remember. Collective, I think, would be good, because we're doing a collective reading. And if you comment collective, then I can pick up the comment and I'll get in touch with you. But you might need to, if your handle is different for your name, you might need to send me a message or let me know it's so and so here, and let me know that, because we're on YouTube. So I'm forgetting that we're not in Facebook or what have you. Anyway. So we connected with the integrity card from Archangel Haniel, as I mentioned a little while ago there. So there's a prayer with Archangel Haniel here. So let's finish with that prayer to conclude. So if you want to put your hands in prayer position, or put your hands on your heart again and close your eyes, you can do so now. And again, you can follow along with me if you like as well. So the prayer says, Haniel, Goddess of the Moon and Angel of Grace, thank you for shining your radiant light upon my life. I allow myself to open and connect with your spirit and poise. I connect with my inner wisdom, my inner vision. I open my eyes and see clearly with love. My gifts and talents naturally progress in your light, and the natural polarities within me are balanced. I stand with poise and in glory. I now create the life I deserve in your light and that of the Creator, and so it is. And that's absolutely perfect, because we've been connecting with grace and connecting with our truth and connecting with our natural abilities, and recognizing our natural abilities. It talks there about the polarities. So the polarities are the opposite. So you think, oh, well, I can't be this because I'm that, or I can't, that can't be a gift because that's always been the hardest thing I've had to deal with. That's exactly why it is your gift, and that's what makes you uniquely you. And so I just love that, and I'd like to say it's magic, but and it is magic, because I don't usually have these books here while I'm doing these readings, but I was guided to leave those books there, and I didn't know that we were going to be calling upon it, but now that we have, it makes perfect sense that that's how we wrap up. So thank you for being with me this evening. This has been the most well-attended love stream yet. We've gone for about an hour and 15, so a little bit longer. but hopefully you feel it was worthwhile. And thank you for co-creating it with me. Those of you that have been here live and that have stayed with me all this time, it's been absolutely beautiful. I've loved it, and I'll share it. And obviously, you've got it all here, those that have been live, but you can catch it up on replay. I'll share it in all the different places so that anybody who didn't manage to connect with us live can watch it at their leisure as well. And of course, you guys, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for being with me, because that all, brings together the messages, because you guys are here and co-creating it with me. So very, very special. So thank you too. And what I will do, for those of you that do follow me on the socials, tomorrow I'll post the photographs of all the cards and the messages that we've had tonight, and then you can go back and listen to this again, or listen to the sacred honouring ritual, or the prayer, or just anything that you want to. You might want to give me a yes for that. I was going to say some of you might want to listen again and sort of pause and journal on it, or connect with what's been the strongest, most powerful messages for you, and connect and journal or meditate on it, or whatever you like to do for your practices. So Annie's saying thank you, Marie's saying thank you. It's been a fab live, really enjoyed it, and we'll be listening to the advice they've given me. Yeah, exactly, that's it, because it was very much a theme, not just a theme, but very much that continuing story throughout. So from the beginning to the end, it's all been that perfect theme of forgiveness of others, blessing the past, forgiveness of self, recognizing the beauty and the brilliance of self, knowing that you're already worthy, and knowing that life can be magical when you connect with that. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful reading. So thank you for co-creating it with me, ladies. So I will love you and leave you. I will see some of you again next month that follow me on YouTube. Remember, you can connect with me on the other socials. So again, I can put the links to those here afterwards. For those who aren't already connected with me on the socials, that you can come and follow me there, or connect with us there. And I will see you when I see you. All right, lots of love. Bye for now. Thank you for being part of it.